So this is the problem that I did today. ये problem जो है, it is okay. The problem is foursome, which is 18th lead code problem. So how I did this problem. The problem first, let's be a bit descriptive about the problem. The problem needs you to find quadruplets. Quadruplets number in a given array which sum up to a target. So quadruplet, so it is similar to the threesome problem, but you just have to find four numbers in this instead of three. So my initial approach, or the brute approach, was that I assume have an array 2 2 2 2 2 and gives me the answer 8. So my initial approach was that I am going to, पहले मैं क्या करूँगा कि पहले मैं I will consider this number as my starting number, first number I. Then I'm going to nest it in a loop. Then consider this j, then k, then l, and these are going to iterate one in the other. So it is a nested loop solution. मैं अगर आपको ज़्यादा सही से समझा पाऊँ तो it is for I, which nests for j, which nests for k, which nests for l. और ये सारी चीज़ें एंड में यही चेक कर रहे हैं कि इफ़ द सम ऑफ आई प्लस जे प्लस के प्लस एल नंबर्स इज इक्वल्स टू टारगेट. इफ़ इट इज़, मैं उसे ऐड कर दे रहा हूँ, एक आउटपुट, मैं उसे ऐड कर दे रहा हूँ एक टेम्प सेट ऑफ वेक्टर में, और देन व्हाट आई एम डूइंग इज, उसके बाद आई एम आइटरेटिंग ओवर दिस टेम्प for, so not like iterating over temp, and then adding it into a set of vectors. A vector of vectors. Yeah. So यही है basic problem इसका. So if you see, I'm nesting 4 loops, so this is n to the power 4, and I'm using a temporary set of vectors which is going to cost me nearly n square space because I'm using set of vectors, and this is my output which is going to be also n square. So n to the power 4 is my time complexity and space complexity is n square. Now my optimized approach is very similar to very similar to the 3-sum solution in which I use 3 pointers. But as the problem asks for 4 numbers, I have to use 4 pointers. So what I do is I take the same array that I had used in the previous case, 8. मैं पहले क्या करूँगा, I would place 2 pointers here, I and j. Then I'm going to place 2 pointers p1 and p2 in this array, which are going to iterate over the rest of the array to find me the combination which will result in the sum of 8. By which I mean that it would slide over, or look from the front and back of this array till a position where it reaches p1 becomes greater than p2, then it is going to break. But till that condition is not satisfied, it is going to find all the numbers in which I plus j plus p1 plus p2 equals to target. और जब वो मेरे को कंडीशन मिल जाएगी, it will break. And so to assume that, assume the basic conditions of while loop, so to make sure that it breaks, I have to assume that the number at p2 is greater than or equal to p1, because if my sum is ever greater than the target, I reduce from p1 or reduce from p2, or if it is ever smaller than target, so I increment from p1. That is my assumption. So I have to assume that number at p2, so number of p2 is greater than equal to number of p1. And for that approach, this array should be sorted. So I have to sort this array. So first I sort the original array. Then what I do is I use for I, for j, and then p1, p2, and then a while p1 less than p2 condition. Now this solution also has the problem of running into duplicates, because as you can see in this solution, if my I changes here, then also I'm going to get the same solution, which is 2 2 2 2 2, and this can come to me multiple times. So what I can simply do is, whenever I get a similar element, so assuming in I, if I get element similar to the previous one, I equal to I minus 1, or j equal to j minus 1, or p1 equal to p1 plus plus, or p2 equal to p2 minus minus. If ever these conditions come, I have to skip these elements. So if I did do this, then it helps me solve the problem of duplicate without needing something extra like set, or a set. So I have to, so that I only get unique quadruplets. And yeah, pretty much it. So this is n, and this is n. So it is an n cube approach, but as I do not need any extra space except the output 1, so it is O of 1. If I consider the output space too, it is n square, but else it is O of 1. This was the best approach that I could come up to. I currently don't know if it is the best solution or not. I'm going to look it up. And yeah, this was the question that I did today. I didn't do many questions today. I felt a bit lethargic. करने का मन नहीं किया ज़्यादा. But yeah, tomorrow going to do more questions. Thank you.